I'm Dr. Fanie Steyn, one of the veterinarians and the managing director at Ramsem Pty Limited. We are a reproductive company in South Africa, in Bloemfontein. We specialize in sheep and goat and cattle reproduction. And today I'm going to tell you more about the exciting new technology that we have got on hand. As you can see from this slide, the company Ramsem is 36 years in business. We've specialized in reproductive services since 1985, and we've got some very exciting new technology that we've launched in this year, 2021. Firstly, the background in terms of sheep and goat reproduction. Laparoscopic insemination is the fastest way of making genetic progress in your herd by using the top sires to multiply their offspring. Laparoscopic insemination is also the best form of insurance for your top genetic material. So in terms of laparoscopic insemination services, Ramsem has got a total of 10 veterinarians across South Africa, and all of these veterinarians are contracted to do laparoscopic insemination, and certain of these also for embryo transfer. So these are the main sheep producing areas, as you know, and we are able to assist our clients all over South Africa and also internationally. These are the very well-known South African breeds. In the top left corner, you will notice the Dorper, top right Meatmaster, Boer Goat, bottom left, and South African Merino. So all of these genetics have been developed over the years in order to really provide top quality products to the producers and also to the clients in terms of meat, wool, and then also in terms of milk, in terms of the dairy goats. In terms of the cattle, we also have a cattle reproduction facilities. So we collect semen and do embryo transfer for cattle as well. In terms of laparoscopic insemination, just to share some of the results with you, this is what our clients achieved, and I'm specifically sharing this slide because this was in the middle of the drought in the Eastern Cape. This client, Mr. Moelman, achieved between 93 and 94% conception, and he had a lambing percentage of over 200%. So it just goes to prove that if you have the right genetics together with correct nutrition and good reproductive services, then you can achieve lambing percentages of 200% and more. Another client that's achieved very good results with laparoscopic insemination is Nova Barletta Dormers. In this scenario, you will see that they achieved the 86% conception, but they achieved a twinning percentage of 78%, which is very, very high. And that is due to good genetics. So you will not be able to achieve these results if you do not have the correct genetics, the correct nutrition, and the correct reproductive services. So the very exciting new technology that I want to tell you about today is gender selection technology, or semen sexing. This is the first such technology available in Africa. At Ramsem in Bloemfontein, we have the only such machine on the entire African continent. And this technology enables us to separate the male and the female sperm. So as you can see in this picture, the female sperm, or the X sperm, has got 4% more DNA than the male sperm, the Y sperm. And after staining the sperm cells, these machines are then able to separate the X and the Y sperm. Now, this has got a great benefit for all farmers and specifically for breeders and feedlots. As you know already, the dairy industry, milk farmers are using this technology for more than a decade to produce more heifers in order to get more milk. So in terms of sheep, goats, and cattle, this technology is now also available. And specifically, you can see on this slide This explains the process whereby the female sperm is given a positive charge, and that then goes into a specific tube on the left, and the male sperm goes into another tube on the right with a different genetic charge. The dead sperm are removed in the middle. They do not take up the stain of the DNA, and these sperm are discarded. So this technology is a complete game changer in that it not only separates male and female sperm, but it also separates the dead sperm out of the ejaculate. The accuracy of this technology is extremely high. It's above 90%, and in most cases above 95%. So what that means is if you do insemination with sexed semen, you will get at least 90% of the preferred gender that you require. This is a very good explanation of what any flock or stud resembles. You will notice in terms of the pyramid, you will have your top 1% genetics, both male and female. Then you will have the next 25% genetics. You will have your average genetics, and you will have your bottom 25% genetics. And these days, it's much easier to identify the top quality genetics because we have got good scientists that provide us with estimated breeding values, breeding indexes, RFID data, etc. So now for the first time, a breeder can really draw up the ranking in his herd and determine exactly which are the animals that are the most economical to breed with and which are the least economical to breed with. So when you are making use of sexed semen, you can then use your top 1% males, and you can artificially inseminate with female semen to multiply the top 25 or even the top 50% of your females. So you are using the best males, sending them to Ramsem, whether those are rams or bulls. We then collect the semen and we send you the female sperm, which is then inseminated by our veterinarians to improve the top animals in your herd. So basically you're getting double the amount of females from, say, your top 25% of your herd. And then on the lowest quality animals at the bottom of the pyramid, you will be using male semen because male semen is the preferred offspring for feedlotting. So of course, the bottom 25% animals in your herd, they will not be producing top quality rams. So the bottom 25% of the herd can all be used to produce terminal crosses, sometimes even crossbreds for the feedlot. Those are the animals that grow the best and that will give you the best return on your investment in the feedlot. You can also use the bottom 25% of your herd as recipients. So the recipient animals are the ones receiving embryos, and the embryos are then produced from the top 1% of your females. So the same as the top 1% males, you will identify the top 1% females, and you can then even flush or IVF these top 1% females to produce many more embryos and transfer those embryos into the recipients that will not be producing your top genetics here at the bottom. In that way, you are multiplying the top 1% of your female or male animals at the top at an even faster rate. This slide just shows us some of the genetics that is available. For example, this Dormer ram, NB 18628. This ram has got a very high index for wean and post-weaning. It's got a very high average daily gain of plus 117. and it's got a very good feed conversion ratio of 4.9. So the average feed conversion ratio of this ram in his group, the group averaged around 6. This ram is on 4.9. The worst feed conversion ratio in that group was about 8. So clearly, if you're using a ram like this to produce the terminal crosses on the bottom 25%, you will be making a lot more money in the feedlot because the animal will consume a lot less feed to reach the target weight before slaughter. This is just a graph explaining the difference in the profit margin that you have on the left. As the feed conversion ratio gets lower or better, the profit margin goes up. Also, in a similar graph, this explains the fact that the better the feed conversion ratio, the less days on feed you will have for those animals. So, of course, the less days on feed, also the more profit you will be making in the feedlot. In that scenario, you can see that the animals with the best feed conversion ratio will only be in that feedlot for about 2 months, whereas the animals with the worst feed conversion ratio will be in the feedlot for almost 3.5 months. So that makes a big difference in the profit margin for any feedlot. This is a similar graph for beef cattle from one of the leading feedlots in South Africa. This also shows the profit margin on the left is up to 2,500 Rand more profit that you make when you're feeding an animal with a feed conversion ratio of less than 5 compared to animals with a feed conversion ratio of more than 8. This simply means that it is now possible to use these top quality genetics and use male semen to produce offspring that will perform better when feeding. This is the end of the technology slideshow. If you need any more information, please contact Ramsem via our website or phone us, and we will be pleased to assist you. Thank you.